We're following some breaking news on Capitol Hill right now. The House Ethics Committee has released a report on its probe into embattled New York Congressman George Santos. Investigators, quote, unanimously concluded that there was substantial evidence that Santos misused campaign funds, filed false reports with the Federal Election Commission, and violated federal ethics law. The panel voted to refer the evidence of the alleged violations to the Justice Department. CBS News congressional correspondent Scott MacFarlane is following all this from Capitol Hill. So, Scott, what else is the committee saying? We've got the note right here from the Committee on Ethics.
Yeah, Vlad, I've read a number of House Ethics Committee reports over the years. This one is uniquely exhaustive, damning, and scathing in what it says New York Congressman George Santos did before he took office and as part of their investigation. Not only does the Ethics Committee and its investigative subcommittee, members of the House doing this work with staff, say that he engaged in fraud, but they say their review found he misused campaign money for personal use and that he was responsible for filing false reports and false information with the Federal Elections Committee. This is all stuff that is relevant to his federal criminal prosecution. And what's noteworthy in particular here is that there were moments in which the Department of Justice asked the Ethics Committee to hold back on some of this probe because Congressman Santos is a criminal defendant in a wide-ranging fraud case at the federal level. But the committee did some of this work anyhow and found things that parallel the investigation and the allegations undertaken by the U.S. Department of Justice. And there are terms in this report which just jump off the page. They say he engaged in lies. They say he was knowing and knowledgeable about so much about which he's accused and which he has tried to allege others were responsible for. They have thrown the blame singularly on George Santos. And what's more, they talk about things that go further back into the past than the Department of Justice case. They talk about his biographical lies, the stories he fabricated as part of his effort to win office or to ensure his legitimacy of his biography when he took office. This is just a report unlike any other we've seen from this House committee.
All right, this sounds very serious. What does it mean for George Santos, though? I mean, he's sort of got a Teflon element to him, it seems like.
The timing here is noteworthy to begin with, Anne-Marie. They released this report hours after the U.S. House has all gone home. They've scattered. They're not here. They're not subject to questions about George Santos. They're not subject to impromptu accountability sessions with their thoughts on George Santos. Let's note that first. George Santos has had the opportunity to go back to New York and stay away from a lot of reporters as well. But also, the U.S. House not being in session means the U.S. House cannot move right now, nor any time in the next week or so, to try to expel George Santos, keeping his position in Congress safe for an indefinite period of time. You recall there was an effort to expel him just a matter of days ago. The vote came up short, but maybe this ethics committee changes the composition of that vote if they were to hold it again. They can't hold it while they're not in session, so he remains a congressman at least until they return. If and when his fellow New York Republicans move to expel him again, and they've told us unequivocally, Anne-Marie and Vlad, they're going to do so. They're going to try to kick him out again, saying this is just not tenable. And the Ethics Committee report may give them a jolt of energy in that effort.
So let's talk about that majority. I mean, this is the thing. Anne-Marie and I were just debating as we saw this cross the wire, which is this is important. This sounds like it's very serious for George Santos. But how willing would the new speaker be willing to cut into that majority that they have, which is already slim to begin with?
So far, the new speaker, Mike Johnson of Louisiana, has really deferred on questions about this, saying what a lot of Republicans have been saying, that we have to wait. A lot of his fellow Republicans have said we've got to wait until the Ethics Committee completes its review. Well, here we are. The Ethics Committee has completed its review. We'll see how his fellow Republicans react once they return here and once the House is positioned to act again. But it's not happening in a vacuum. As you said, there is such a narrow, fragile majority for House Republicans who can afford to lose just 4 votes on any measure and ensure that measure passes for Republican votes only. Without George Santos, that magic number dwindles down to 3. There's been a sense here that he's a necessary vote and a necessary person. And that may insulate him from what is necessarily a damning ethics report when you read it.
All right, Scott, thank you very much.